Hi. Well, I just wanted to put out some more pictures of Harry during his day in London, where he came from California to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the founding of the Invictus Games. Harry is the person who started the Invictus Games. Many people want to give credit to William and Charles, but it was Harry who was inspired by the American Wounded Warriors program that decided that he would take on as a project developing the Invictus Games. And so he presented this idea to Charles. Uh, William and Charles both liked the idea, but they didn't want to have it their project. They wanted it to be Harry's project. And so he, with the support of other community members, because it takes a lot of money, and of course, knowledge of how to get this thing organized and together. I mean, this is a year round job doing something like the Invictus Games. Um, he was able to do it, and during the first Invictus Games, Charles and William both attended. They did not attend as co sponsors or co organizers, they attended as just visitors, viewers of the Invictus Games. And it was totally Harry that started and that supports currently the Invictus Games. It is his pet project, and he is working on it without any other royal family members. So, and when you do a project like this, you are full time working trying to make sure everything is right. People wondering what Harry does. This is going to take up a lot of his time. He has to pick sites, he has to find financing, he has to have vendors who are selling things, people who are going to support money, put up money for the event. Everything has to be safe because these are wounded people. They're coming in probably dilapidated wheelchairs or health problems. He has to make sure the wheelchairs they're using are safe. He has to make sure that the medical people are there to take care of any medical issues. They're going to have medical trauma from their military service, just as Harry and William do. And they're going to have people there to help the people who are coming to the Invictus Games, make sure they have mental health care. They're going to need a lot of ramps. They're going to need people who can do all kinds of things that might be specially needed by people who are wounded, disabled, amputees, um, mental problems, and so forth, and their family members and their kids. So many, many things that have to be done. They have to get insurance for the whole thing, make sure that anybody who has a problem and gets injured is able to receive medical care and, get back home. Some people are going to come and they're not going to have a way to get back home, or transportation or meals. So much. And make sure the meals are healthy, and they're going to have meals for different countries. It's just on and on and on. So I commend Harry wholeheartedly for doing this um, program, this athletic event, to get people out and about and to celebrate their lives, even though they have sacrificed and now are living with disabilities or other problems. So good going, Harry. See if I can get this to go. This is the a place where the two families were. Charles was having a garden party one place, and it varies. Some people say the difference between the two spots is 2 miles. This here it says 3.3 miles, but they were very close. And Charles, of course, has access to government paid cars and limousine drivers and everything he needs. So going from one spot to another really would have been in no way putting him out. But even though they were both in London, they did not see each other. But Harry has shown that he is able to carry on with the Invictus Games even if other people don't want to support him, other people in his family or other people who feel that they have to side with the royal family and ignore the Invictus Games. It's going to be a problem for Harry in London, so he probably will have to start focusing on other countries that are participating, because London is going to have this family problem. Now, what is good is having a royal family if they are going to be so dysfunctional. You know, part of a modern day royal family, these people have been given tons of money by the citizens who have trouble feeding themselves, citizens who don't have housing, citizens who don't have jobs, citizens who are being stabbed. London has become the knife stabbing capital of the world, so to speak. And I saw a show where they showed all the different daggers people are using against citizens, including not swastikas, machetes. They were using machetes, and they use these daggers which are very jagged. And what happens is if you get stabbed with one of these jagged daggers, it's very hard to repair the injury because it's more of a tear than a nice knife slit. So London is falling apart as far as its safety, its health. National Health Service is having lots of problems. So while the king is telling people to go get checked for cancers of who knows what type, the National Health Service has waiting lists that goes on for years. So you're wanting something that's not available. So it's very frustrating, I'm sure, for the people of London to want to get checked by the National Health Service physicians or to undergo tests, but finding that the waiting line is just too long and they can't get in to actually get the services that they want. You know, it's different when you're in the royal family. You can just say, oh, I'm having a problem. They'll scoot you in. You can get surgery quickly, good post-surgical care. But for the regular citizens, that's not so. You get on a waiting list, and if you die, you die. Now here they were doing an introductory show. This is Harry talking about the Invictus Games, and he talked about a lot of the games that they play. You know, they do wheelchair basketball, wheelchair other things, volleyball, I believe, and all kinds of things. So he's just describing how exciting some of the events are, some of the events you'll see, and doing a lot of informational promo for the event so that people know what are the Invictus Games, who will be there, and how to attend. And here is Harry. He is with a member of the company of pikemen. You know, the flute players, the drum players, and musketeers at the Honorable Artillery Company in London. And so he's just... And the Queen loved the pipes. She loved the Scottish pipes. And she had a person who would come at 9 a.m. every day and travel past her window multiple times, and she used that as a wake-up call. And at her funeral, the pipe man was there playing the Scottish pipes, and he walked away into the distance. It was a very emotional moment because she often talked about how she liked to get up and how she depended on the piping in the morning. And here is Harry again talking about the Invictus games and what his visit is about. So good going, Harry. I think it's a noble job. Certainly will take a lot of your time. It should allow you to travel to many of the countries with people who are involved around the world. We have a lot of discomfort, a lot of hatred in the world, and unfortunately it's also expressed in the royal family, among family members. We have a lot of sexual abuse, when you got that in the royal family with Andrew and others who are bringing their own problems. And then, of course, we have a lot of addictions, mental health problems, and so forth, which are also in the royal family. I never got an answer as to how in the world people got to give Harry drugs when he was always surrounded by security. And one of the jobs of security is to make sure that Harry did not eat anything harmful or take in anything harmful. So I never can understand how Harry was able to get drugs. And the only thing I can think of is they must have been coming from the people who were giving him security. Maybe they were making money on the side from people in the royal household, because there are a lot of people that live in those castles with the royal family, a lot of administrative people. And so it's very easily they could be bringing in drugs, or their friends could be bringing in drugs and selling them that stuff to the royal family. And of course his classmates at Eton and other schools could be selling drugs, because a lot of those families aren't that rich, and making money off the royal family by selling drugs would not be far-fetched. But regardless, Harry is bringing awareness, and Harry is showing that even though the royal family is fractured and very dictatorial, you don't have to be dictated to. That's the kind of person who gets in trouble. Somebody who just says yes, yes, yes. You do this, and I'll treat you nice. Well, you have to think, use your own brain, and decide whether or not that's the right path for you. And for Harry, he has chosen a path which is different than Charles's. Charles waited 75 years to get on that throne, and there's a reason. Queen Elizabeth II did not want Charles on the throne. She was very adamant she did not want Camilla to be queen. She didn't even want her to be queen consort. But during her final months, Charles nagged her, begged her, threw hissy fits, and she gave in, said that Camilla could be queen consort, but she would be horrified to see that Charles had gone on to make her a queen. Charles made Camilla a queen. After the queen died, she reluctantly said she could be queen consort, and if she knew Camilla were just digging into all of those jewels, she would die again. She would be horrified. Charles made her life miserable with his activities with Camilla, and he would refuse to cooperate with the Queen unless she allowed Camilla to come to certain events. So Charles really made her life miserable, and he would never separate from the person he loved, and now he hates Harry for the person Harry loves. So what a crazy family. This truly is a Truman Show, and everybody is hooked on the Truman Show of the royal family. We can't wait to see the next episode and what's going to happen. So like and subscribe. Bye.